Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Welcome to Fusion Mobile e-learning platform. My name is OK Buno. The subject before us is agricultural science, and the topic under consideration at this moment is agricultural extension. Agricultural extension. Under agricultural extension, we will be looking at the subheadings, the meaning, the functions, the problems, methods of disseminating new ideas to farmers, and adoption of innovation. Okay. Agricultural extension. What is agricultural extension? All right, people. So agricultural extension talks about the processes whereby the findings, okay, the researches, the various techniques are taken to farmers. That is, the various findings from research institutes, various techniques that are new, new innovations in farming, they are gathered and taken to the farmers, okay, in their different enclaves or different places where you can find them by the research workers. The research workers, okay, are the same as the extension workers. So they get information from the research institutes and take this information to the farmers, and in turn they bring the solutions, they bring the problems, the challenges that these farmers are facing in their activities or farming activities. They gather them as well and take them back to the research institutes, okay, or institutions where they can find solutions to these challenges, and the cycle goes on and on. So you see, extension workers are there to improve farming techniques, to bring new ideas, innovations closer to the farmers. Usually this work is it's voluntary, so you're not forced to do it, but it does pay, because the researchers, you find them very useful in the improvement of farming activities, farming production, boosting farming production across the countries, and they are intermediaries between the farmers, between the farms and the research institutions, where findings are usually made and also made available to be taken to the farmers to improve their farming techniques. Now, we will look at the functions, the various functions of these agricultural extension workers. Now, very quickly, good students, let us look at the various functions of the agricultural extension or the agricultural extension workers. Just a few of them, or a couple of them. As you can see, we have improved farming techniques. Like I said, they teach improved farming techniques to farmers. So when they get in contact with farmers, they bring these techniques that have been proven, okay, certified from institutes, from various institutes of research, and they make them available to the farmers. They collect basic information from the farmers, okay. They collect basic information from the research institutes, make them available to the farmer, also collect information from the farmers and take them back to the research institutes for further investigation, for further prognosis, for further analysis, and of course for solutions to be preferred. And of course they act as intermediaries between the farmers and the research institutes. That has already been established. And fourth, we see that they supervise agricultural loans. So when farmers have taken agricultural loans, the agricultural loans are not just left to work at their as they want or as they like. The farmers are not left on their own also. So you see the agricultural extension workers coming to advise farmers on how to use the loans judiciously to achieve the ends for which the loans were meant to achieve. And then they also teach about land management. They teach the farmers how to manage their land, in such a way that they can make the best use of the lands that are available to them for farming. And then they change farmers' attitude for the better. They change farmers' attitude. They raise their standard of living. They change farmers' attitude. For instance, a farmer has been frustrated for a very long time over maybe a minor issue. Of course, when an agricultural extension worker steps into the scene, what does he do or what does she do? She makes the farmer to see the problem from a different perspective, from the perspective of solution. So the farmer now begins to see, oh, so I could have done it this way. Oh, really? And then the farmer adjusts, and what happens? The better is what he gets. And then the raised standard of living, of course, when the farmer's attitudes are starting to change for the better, what comes along are gains. So the standard of living of the farmer is raised, and of course they help to identify the proper channels of marketing, okay, to the farmers. We've just dealt with that in the previous topic where we talked about marketing, okay, of agricultural produce. So we saw the different channels. Now the agricultural extension worker looks at the available channels and says, oh, farmer, go this route. Okay, so the farmer goes there, and definitely the gains are what follows. Okay, so students, let's look at a few of the problems that are involved in agricultural extension. Okay, inadequate farm input. Inadequate farm input, like fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, you know, these things usually arrive the farm late, okay? You know, the problems get compounded, especially when this number 2 has continued to be a problem. Inadequate transport facilities, okay? How do you expect even if the extension workers are well equipped, trained, how do you expect them to go into the interiors of these rural areas or farmlands when there is no transportation systems available to take them there, no roads? So it gets a little bit difficult, okay? It gets a little bit difficult. And of course, with misappropriations of funds here and there, embezzlements in government, oh, may that not be your portion when you get there. Okay, you see, as a result of all these various challenges that shouldn't have been in the first place, okay, the farm input arrive the farms late. The fertilizers, the herbicides, the pesticides, the seedlings, the seeds, and all of that, they arrive the farm late. So they end up not really doing that which they were meant to do. And then, of course, poor supervision of farmers. The farmers get poorly supervised when there is inadequate extension workers. The extension workers are not, they're not always available because there are just a few of them. Even as I'm talking to you, are you going to be an extension worker when you're done graduating from the university? We need more people there, okay? Because when we have more people there, the farmers will thrive. Our farms will thrive. We'll have plenty of farm produce, a lot of it, everywhere. And the nation will not be hungry. The prices of food items, gari, rice, beans will come down quite a bit, okay? Because the farmers are being very properly supervised by the extension workers. Now, another challenge is illiteracy of farmers. So you find out that the extension workers may need to learn the local language of the farmers there, or maybe a bit of the broken English, okay? That's what we call pidgin in the local parlance, or of course the Creole, okay, in the normal parlance, okay, might do. Or you might need to go with an interpreter, or you might need to make do with an interpreter from the local environment of the farmers that you are serving at that moment. Okay, so the extension workers need to relate with the farmers very closely. Most of these farmers are illiterates, so they need to be carried along, okay, very intimately by whatever means possible, So that's a challenge that the extension workers will have to deal with. Now, undefined roles of agents. A lot of the times you find that these agents don't even have their definite or specific roles. So the agent that is supposed to be advising about fertilizers, for instance, is advising about exports. I mean, you don't expect him to do so well when he's not acting in his capacity. Okay, so it should be defined. The roles should be properly defined, okay, such that each extension worker knows just what to do when it gets to the farmlands or when it gets in contact with the farmers. Now we will proceed to look at the methods involved in disseminating new ideas to farmers. 3 methods will be considered in this review. The first is individual method, the second is the group method, and the third is the mass media. The mass media. First of all, we look at the individual method. The individual method, the advantages and the disadvantages. What are the advantages of the individual method? The individual method simply talks about the one-on-one method, where one extension worker or more than one extension worker gets to sit down with one farmer, okay, at a time, one farmer at a time, and then discuss the new methods, okay, to be disseminated, and also get feedback from the customers, from the farmers. Good. And of course, you can see that the advantage here is that the feedback is precise because you're listening to the farmer directly. You're sharing, I mean, the farmer's the farmer's point of view. Okay, you can see from the farmer's point of view, the farmer can see from your point of view. There is no distortion. I mean, there's direct contact. So the feedback is precise. And of course, the farmer gets more attention. What do you expect when the farmer is sitting face to face with the extension worker? Of course, the attention is precise and focused. And so we get to see that this method consumes time. How many farmers are you going to reach using that method? Oh, well, it might serve well in some reasons, maybe for a very big farmer that is so important in the community, in the state. But if you want to do it one-on-one with every single farmer in the community, in the neighborhood, in the state, in the country, oh my God, we don't have enough extension workers to do that, okay? And you see, less farmers will be reached. So those are the challenges. Talking about the group method. Group method, you may have things like debates, things like symposia, things like shows, you know, that are organized where several farmers come together, you know, engage in discussions, debates, exchange of ideas. Fine. I mean, that way you can reach more farmers and you can also save time and money. But you see, some farmers, they don't like it. They don't like it in the sense that the ideas that are coming, they want to stick with the old ideas. They want to stick with the old ways of doing things. They are resistant to changes. They don't want to take what the extension workers are bringing. So what do? They try to discourage the other farmers that are trying to get the real deal, okay, that are trying to move some notches higher than where they used to be. I mean, they will just poke them and say, come, guy, you are listening to that guy. This is how we used to do it. We better be doing it that way. You want to try what you don't know, you know. So such farmers can discourage, such farmers can discourage the other farmers that want to adopt the new ideas, okay? And of course, sometimes you discover that some farmers who are not reached may begin to agitate. So nobody told me they were coming. I mean, so I was not able to make it in the film show, in the group show, in the discussion, and you people want to implement this. I won't be a part of it. I can't be a part of it because you did not involve me from the start. You know, those could be some other challenges in the group method. Then, talking about the mass media. The mass media is very effective. Very, very effective. You know, we have two types of mass media, right? We have the print media and we have the electronic media. The electronic media talks about the television, the radio, your DSTV, you know, and all of that shows you motion pictures. Okay, that's the electronic media. Okay, then the motion pictures and voice things. Okay, then the print media talks about the pamphlets, the newspapers, those things that are distributed to be read. Okay, like this. You see, you don't expect illiterates to read, so that's already a disadvantage. Okay, but that doesn't stop us from using the most effective method. The most effective method, you see that a large number of farmers can be reached. Time wasting is minimized. Okay, because you can reach millions of farmers with just a single advert on the television or radio. And physical presence of the extension workers are not necessary because the print media and the extension media are already doing the job. Okay, but the most effective method is also the most expensive method. So it's expensive. Illiterate farmers, like I already said, may not benefit. And feedback is poor because the farmers just look at the radio, the television adverts, they listen to the radio adverts, but they can't ask questions because there's no physical presence of extension workers, so they can ask anybody any question. But that doesn't stop us, okay, from using the most effective method. So very quickly, let's look at adoption of innovation. What do we mean by innovations? Innovations are those new ideas, techniques, okay, that the extension workers bring to the fore, or that they bring, okay, before these farmers. Now, the factors that affect adoption, okay, a few of the factors are listed here. Level of education. The more educated the farmer is, the more the farmer would easily adopt new methods. Financial status of the farmer. The wealthier farmers, I bet you, will want to try new methods because even if it fails, they are not going to fall flat. Poverty will usually make most farmers not even want to try because what if it fails? So I'll lose everything and then I'll go back to ground zero. So wealthier farmers usually want to try new methods because if it succeeds, it's to their benefit. Okay, the size of the farm. The larger the size of the farm, the more the farmer would want to adopt new methods. Why? Because the farmer can decide to bring out just a section of his farm and try this very method that is being introduced to him or her, okay, and he does not stand to lose everything in the end. Okay, presence of extension workers. Okay, if there are no extension workers available, you can rest assured that the innovation that is being circulated or that is hovering around may not find ready ears or ready hands to implement them. Also, result of demonstration plots. Sometimes the extension workers get to prepare demonstration plots where they implement their new ideas. Then they bring farmers together to see how the demonstration plots get to go in the long run. If the demonstration plots don't turn out positively, okay, the results are not so fantastic, you discover that all the farmers that were involved in the show will do what? Everybody to your tents, O Israel. They would not want to adopt that method because nobody wants to adopt a failure. Okay, so now talking about adopters. Adopters, we have the levels, different levels of adopters. That is people who adopt various methods or various innovations that are being presented to them. We have what we call the innovators. The innovators are the leaders. They are at the forefront. We have the innovators, we have the early adopters, and then we have the late adopters. That is where you have the major, as in the large number, the late adopters. Then the never adopters, they may not be as much as the late adopters, but there are always never adopters. They don't even want to try. And you know the reason? High level of poverty and illiteracy. Okay? High level of poverty and illiteracy gives rise to never adopters. You don't want to stay in that class of people. You don't want to belong to that class of people. Okay? So the early and the innovators, how do you encourage the innovators? The innovators should be encouraged, okay? The innovators should be given loans. They should be given credit facilities. They should be awarded. They should be supervised. You know, the extension workers should work closely with them. They should be, a lot of presence should be around them to encourage them, because it is the innovators that finally get to ginger the early adopters to swing into action, and then of course the late adopters. So innovators are leaders. They may have heard of the idea through print media. Usually innovators are the educated ones. Of course you belong to that class. That's why you're listening to me right now. So the innovators are the leaders, and they are educated, okay? And because they are innovators, they get to try new methods. They take the risks, and in the end, they become richer, they become wealthier, they have larger sizes of farms, okay? And they can keep on, you know, bringing up new ideas, okay? And getting more innovations and encouraging all the other adopters to join the league and make the farm a booming business in Nigeria and beyond. Okay, very quickly, let us hit this bonus point, okay? And that is qualities of extension workers, or qualities of an extension worker. We have 7 qualities listed here: originality, leadership, initiative, clear judgment, honesty, and reliability, communication skills, and respect for culture and tradition. Okay, what does an extension worker do? An extension worker is that person that acts as an intermediary, okay, between the farmers and the research institutes, or between the farmers and the government. A lot of the time you've heard of statistics, the number of goods that were exported, the number of maybe a particular, the total amount, so to say, of a particular goods that has been exported, the number of goods being imported, the quantity, the amount, and a lot of information that we get to hear on radio, on the television. This information did not just fly to the media like that. The extension workers were very, very instrumental in making those information available to the different media houses, to the different institutions that in turn make the information available to the government. Okay, this is what the extension workers do. Okay, so the extension workers are intermediaries between the farmers and the big players in the big field, okay, talking about the institutions and the governments, okay, the media houses and all of them. Now, the extension worker, one of the qualities that should make an extension worker stand out is originality. The extension worker should be able to think for himself, okay, without being prompted. The extension worker should be original. Okay, these are some of the things, or one of the things, that will endear the extension worker to the community of farmers where he may find himself. Okay, leadership skills is very, very basic. Okay, the extension worker should be a leader because he's going to be a leader to the farmers, okay, in the local community, for instance. He's going to be able to bring them together. He's going to be able to talk to them. They should be able to listen to him because he has the qualities that make him stand out as a leader, and he should take initiative. He should be able to take initiative to do things, to try out new things, and make these farmers to follow him, okay, as these things are being carried out. His judgment should be clear-cut judgment. He should not be biased, okay. He should not try to favor one party in, in preference to another, okay. Now he must be reliable and honest. Of course, that also takes us back to clear judgment. He must be reliable and honest in his dealings with the farmers. He doesn't say, plant it like this, and when the farmer comes tomorrow, the farmer says, you told me to plant it like this, I planted it like this and it didn't work, and then he will say, hey, it's not, I didn't tell you to plant it like this. So no, he should be honest. He should take responsibility. If what he has told the farmer to do didn't work out, he should be able to say, wow, sorry, I thought this would work. Okay, now let's do it like this. You see, that's reliability, that's honesty. He should be able to take responsibility. Okay, communication skills. Oh, maybe that's even about the most important, because communication says it all. If the extension worker cannot communicate with the farmer, nothing is done, nothing is achieved in the end. So communication skill is very basic. If possible, he should learn a few of the terms or a few of the words that are used in that community where he finds himself, just to blend, because he has to blend in. And that brings us to respect for culture and tradition. He really has to blend in. He has to make himself like one of them without shedding off his values, without losing focus of the reason why he is there. If he has to drink their water, he can do that. If he has to eat their food, he can do that. If he has to sit down with them and, choose some groundnuts and barley, he should do that. Make them feel at ease and at home around him, because that is the only way they will give him his due respect and give him all their ears and all their attention, for him to be able to achieve the purpose why he is in that community, or why he is there to serve the community, or why he is there to carry out the purpose of his mission. Now, we have looked at agricultural extension extensively. Yes, we've looked at the meaning, the functions, the problems involved, the methods of disseminating new ideas to farmers. Okay, we looked at the individual method, the group method, the mass media, and then we looked at adoption of innovation. And finally, we have decided to hit that bonus mark of looking at the qualities of extension workers. With this, we come to the end of agricultural science for senior secondary school. Great. So a few questions will pop up on your screen. Please attempt them and feel free, replay the video. Have a great time.